Yeah. Well, is anybody recording? Cause I'm here, I'm reporting. Smoking, know what's important. Everything that you say, everything goes your way. Any given new day, used to hearing okay. Oh well, new beginnings are coming up. So use your past to fill another cup. Drink it back, just like that. Or you smoke, so you know how it go. Now that you're on a roll, I'm gonna roll, gonna roll, gonna roll, on a 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 roll. Look at that, I got some bullshit on my mind. I just need to find a way to focus on my grind. I can't let nobody come between what's me and mine. You still fine. Oh well, new beginnings are coming now. Don't use your past to fill another cup. Bring it back, yeah, just like that. Oh, you smoke, so you know how we go. Now that you're on a roll, I'm gonna roll, gonna roll, gonna roll, gonna roll, on a roll, yeah, on a roll, on a roll, on a roll. Anybody recording? Cause I'm here, I'm reporting. Smoking, know what's important. Listening to everything that you say.
Hey, welcome everybody to the shop. My name is Blue. I have my co-host, which is my partner, my sister, Tanisha.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's me, Tanisha.
And we have a few special guests today. Right now we have Faith. And the topic for today is understanding the community. So I'm excited about this show. I'm looking forward to get a lot of knowledge. So yeah.
Yeah.
Faith,
where's
you there?
Faith?
I don't know.
Wait, something's happening. Wait. Hey, Danielle.
Hey, Danielle, what's going on?
Hey, Faith, are you there?
I don't know if he's there.
Hey, Ange.
Hey, what's up, Ange? Let's see.
And what's the name? Derek said he didn't get the link, but I told him it was sent twice.
Yeah, I sent it twice. Ask him if he could just he should be able to just join in here through the room if he didn't get the link.
I mean, try to do that. Then I mean I have to come off the Facebook.
Nah, you good. I'm gonna try to tell him I'll resend it to him. And he should, let me do that right now. So yeah, Tanisha, understanding the LGBTQ plus community.
Yeah, I think it's an awesome topic. And as soon as we can get our guest on, we can actually ask some questions. But do you have any pre-statement?
I'm just curious to understand just I would like to get the knowledge and behind the definitions of the lettering, understanding the terms and the categories. So I'm looking forward to hearing and just understanding that the community as a whole.
Right.
So I think it's a community within a community. I think it's a lot that goes on inside that community that we do not see. And it's a lot that goes on that we do see, but I'm just curious to see exactly I'm just curious to listen this time more so than speak.
Right. I don't know what just happened. Faith just got off.
Yeah. Here he goes.
Okay, he's back. There he is.
Hey, what's going on, Faith?
Faith. Hello. Faith.
Faith, if you could hit your video and your microphone.
What is going on?
I don't know. I'm not for sure.
Faith, hit your video and your microphone button, please. So if anybody on the Facebook would like to, oh, Faith, your service is not good.
Hey, Faith.
Oh, I should have looked that up. The Gmail, right?
Yeah.
Faith.
Let's put this up. Thanks. Hello, and he loves you. Thanks.
Hello.
Hey, Father. You here?
Hello.
Hey, Faith.
What is going on?
Your connection seems low at the moment. You're on audio only mode. I need Wi-Fi. I need stronger Wi-Fi.
Yeah, we can hear you, Faith.
We can hear you.
And I'm not liking the way this camera looks, so I'm cleaning it now. Can you ask Dom? Maybe.
Hey.
I felt like that was gonna happen anyway.
No, I'm gonna look at Faith. I don't think he can hear us.
I don't think so either. We're gonna have
it's
to.
Not gonna. I don't think it's gonna auto connect. I think you can press the button. I should be able to do it from here as well.
Hey, Faith, can you hear us?
Can you guys hear me?
Yes. Can you hear us?
We can hear you.
I can hear you guys. I don't have video at the present moment, but if you give me like a few seconds, I'm trying to connect to the Wi-Fi. So once I connect to the Wi-Fi, you'll be able to see me and stuff.
Yeah, nah, that's fine. He's trying to connect to the Wi-Fi.
Okay. I don't know what happened to our other guest.
Faith?
We getting everything. Is that you? That's not you, right? It's not showing him in the room. It's capital P.
Let me see. Okay, so let's do this again.
He just joined.
Okay.
Faith, can you hear us?
Faith.
Sorry, everybody, for the delay. Hold on, I'm gonna kick him out real quick and have him back. All right. Hold on real quick. Cool. How's everybody doing today? Until we could get him situated. I hope everybody's having a good, productive day. We're waiting for the other guests to actually pop on. So I'm looking forward to that, to see, just to hear the different points of views compared to the stereotypes that we actually all see or hear. So I'm looking forward to all of it.
Right.
I'm waiting for a few things.
Okay, so there's Derek Dahl.
Okay,
hey, Derek.
perfect.
Hi.
Hey, what's going on, Derek? How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Pretty good. There's a little
Wow.
small icon beside your microphone. It's your video. I don't know if you want to be on video.
Okay, let me find turn the video on. Oh,
There you go.
There he
There
is.
you go.
hey, okay.
Hey.
How you doing today, man?
I'm
Thank you
doing
for
well.
thank you for coming on. Truly appreciate you.
Oh, no problem, no problem. Can you hear me fine? I wonder if you can hear me fine without my. Hear me still?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Very.
yeah,
Prince
yeah.
Derek
Hey,
Doll is in the building. What?
Yeah.
What?
And
That's
there
what's
he
up.
is. Hey,
Hey,
Faye.
hey,
hey, what's going on,
everybody.
Faith? Hey, what's up? What's
Hi, my dear friend Prince. What's
Hey, what's
going on,
going
Mr.
on?
Derek Doll?
Hey, stranger, dear friend, where you been?
I, 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 I'm sorry.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I was
Listen,
traveling.
don't kill me. We live. You can't kill me while we live now. Kill me after we live. After we live, I got you.
You know
so,
about that, like anytime, any place, anywhere.
so Derek and Faith, man. Thank y'all for coming on. I really am, and me and Tatanisha are really appreciative of y'all coming on as guests. And we look forward. I was actually looking forward to having a better understanding of the LGBTQ plus community. And I had some questions. I know Tatanisha had some questions, and I'm sure the guests they're
It
going to
disconnected from me
be more
again.
guests coming in. So
Okay.
yeah, welcome.
So, Derek, you want to go first and introduce yourself and kind of just open up the floor just a little bit for me?
Oh, sure. Well, I'm Prince Derek Doll. That is my entertainment name. I'm a performing artist. I'm also a community activist, an advocate, and entrepreneur. Over the past few years, outside of working on my art or making music and opening up platforms and stages for other independent LGBTQ artists, I've also worked as a community engagement specialist, freelance or with NJ Pact, NCRI. I'm an executive board member for Newark Pride. I've hosted Newark Pride for the past, I think, 4 years now. And so I think that whatever space that I've occupied, I've always tried to make sure that I presented 100% of myself. And that includes whether it's my t-shirt brand, Unknown Negro. I know when I walk into a place, I'm Black, I'm queer, and those are parts of my identity that I have no interest in turning off, even if I could. And so I think that just by my presence alone and being 100% authentic with who we are, we create this space for people to do the same thing. So that's basically just who I am in a nutshell.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Faye.
Faith.
All right, hey everybody. For those who do not know me, I am Faith Carter. I am Faith with a Y, not an I, because God made me individualized, and that's just how I am. I am defined as a homosexual, bisexual, whatever kind of brother. Black man. I am a writer. I am an artist. I am a singer. I am a dancer. I am a choreographer. I am a paraprofessional. I work with kids. I work with teachers. I work with people and with developmental disabilities. So I'm kind of all over the place, and I come from different backgrounds. I also was a foster care child. I also was on the streets. I'm from the hood. I'm all of those things that you can imagine. I'm still godly and I'm just a vibe. I'm here to support and give my input on some things that I think that are very very valuable and needed in the community. And it's so good to have platforms like this where we can just come and just talk and vibe, man.
Thank you.
Well, thank you guys for joining us. Thank you
Ain't
very
no
much.
thank you guys nothing, because I'm gonna get your butt for bringing Prince up here without telling me, because he was gonna get me, but it's okay. Lil, you knew too, so you knew too, so we gonna fight later on, but that's okay.
I'm cool with that, man. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with
Prince,
that.
I love you. Don't beat me up. What's the
Hold
Can't
up,
hear
Prince.
you, Prince.
We can't hear you, Prince. Hold up, your mic went off. Hit the microphone button.
Yeah.
There you go. Yes,
Yes.
perfect.
I said, I'm not gonna beat you up. You my security. I'm gonna beat you up.
Exactly. Exactly. Just remember those things first. Okay.
Well, I mean, we had questions, but I had questions, and I wanted to ask because some of the people that are tuned in, I'm sure more people will filter in, and even if no more people don't filter in, we're still gonna be good because it's definitely a show that I was looking forward to, in understanding. So, in understanding the terms by category, could you guys explain that as far as the lettering and what exactly it represents?
LGBTQ, and then sometimes it can be 2IA, but lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, uh, lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, LGBTQ,
Intersex.
questioning, uh, allies,
Okay.
Or asexual.
or asexual.
The word, the letters, and the funny thing is about the LGBTQI plus part is that the letters can sometimes be confusing because there are so many different categories of sexuality. There's demisexual, there's pansexual, there's so many different sexual identities. And I've always been a fan of like just the regular 5, HUMAN, because we're all human.
Yeah.
At the day, but for those who may not know why there's such a need for people to be identified, all it is they affiliate with the lesbian part. Of course, that's 2 women or 2 persons who identify as women who are attracted to same sex. Gay is a male, typically a male who's attracted to males. Bisexual is a person who is sexually attracted to both sexes. The T part is for trans persons or persons of trans experience who their gender expression may not directly align with what their biological sex is. And then you have intersex, which is those persons who are born with both biological sexes. We used to call them hermaphrodites, I believe.
Hermaphrodites.
Yeah. And then you have the A, which now stands for ally, but it also meant for asexual, and that's for persons who don't really have
A sexual preference.
one way or the other. They're not actually interested in sex at all. They don't have. It's just not.
Right.
So there's a outside of those 5 and that plus gets really deep. So there's a lot. But those are the basic ones right there.
Okay. Tatanisha, I don't want to keep asking. If you want me to keep going, I don't want to be jumping in. We be piggybacking off each other.
Because somebody is messaging.
What was and I'm asking, and if I say anything that comes off wrong, I don't mean it. It's not intentional, and I'm not. So please let me know. But what was the hardest thing for you guys growing up and finding your identity?
Faith, I'll let you go first.
Damn. Can you ask the question again?
What was the hardest thing growing up and finding your identity, or I don't know. I don't want to say it was a struggle because sometimes it's not a struggle for some people. But what was the hardest thing for you all as growing up, especially as Black men?
I think the hardest thing for me growing up in my identity, I'm still living. I feel like there's it was the acceptance for me. Like there were places where I was accepted and there's places that I'm not accepted. And then I'm not gonna say I've not gotten bullied, like, cause there's people who've been bullied way worse than me. But being gay, people feel like you're less than, or you're more feminine, and they use that as a clutch, or they use that as a way to pick on you, or and make something that's not. And for me, I've never been that person. So I guess to bring it all together, I don't know. I think being gay as a whole has been a struggle for me my whole entire life. I mean, it's a lifestyle that I would never choose to change, um, because I'm very proud of who I am, and I'm very proud of who we are as gay people, who choose to identify and be out there in the world, for those who choose to classify themselves outwardly. I hope, did I answer that question correctly? I know you guys are just like looking and tuning in. I see
Nah,
my
nah, nah.
eyes
Listen,
off. And
you know
Yeah,
how I am, but I'm just listening. But go ahead.
you know what? I think when it comes down to even answering questions, there's no right or wrong way to answer. So I definitely appreciate the answer.
What about you, Derek?
So for me, you said what was the hardest thing?
Growing up,
Not
yeah.
even not even saying that. Well, yeah. What was the most challenging? I don't want to. Like I said, I don't want to come off.
Right. Oh no, that's not. It's not the wrong question. I'm here to answer whatever questions you have. Um, the hardest. I think what was different. Well, not really. It wasn't really hard. I think I was always a queer person. Like I was a queer kid, and
Mhm.
understanding what that means. And I was actually talking about this earlier today. Like when it comes to sexuality, you know, you have this social construct where boys are supposed to like girls and girls are supposed to like boys, and then if a boy likes a boy, it's gay. If a girl likes a girl, she's lesbian, all kind of stuff. So for me, I think before me even understanding sexuality, I had to understand my own queerness, because your queerness is something that you can't hide. That people hide their sexuality.
Mhm.
Okay, you know what I mean? There are people walking around here that you would know what they're doing in their bedroom unless they told you.
right, right.
Me as a kid, it was like I've always been my own person. I've always liked whatever I liked, and I
Mhm.
feel like I had to apologize for it. If I couldn't dance as a kid, but if there was something, I was a kid that you could look like, yeah, something's different. He's not just one of these regular boys that wanted to play football or truck. Not, enjoyed sports like that. But me understanding how to navigate in a world where me talking a certain way, or me walking a certain way, or me liking certain things, or liking certain cartoons or characters or whatever, singers, or that it was weird, or
Mhm.
that it was weird. And so for a long time, I had to question, like, there's something wrong with me for enjoying these things. There's something wrong with me for being a black boy who plays cello and enjoys classical music, when all of the other people I knew that looked like me into hip hop and other things. Like my mom was a ballerina. I like looking at ballet. So for me, it was more so me coming to the fact that I had to own myself a
Mhm.
little earlier than a lot of other boys that I knew. I had to own it. Whatever it was about me, if it was weird or peculiar or queer, I had to
Mhm.
own it, because there weren't people to defend me. As far as the fighting was concerned, I've always had hands. So I didn't really have to worry too much about that, the bullying. And I also have a strong mouthpiece, so I could always speak up and stand up for myself. Um, but it really was just about coming to a space where I owned it and stopped questioning who I was, and just was like, oh, this is me. And the world's either going to bend to make space for that, or I'm going to have to move another way. And so that was what childhood was like for me. It's just being different and
Yeah.
owning it. Yeah.
How long did it take you to own it?
How long? Oh man. So like when you're a kid and you know when you know what you know, like you just are. So I think around maybe 11 or 12 is when you go through the preteen phase and you're trying to find your social circle. As a teenager, you're trying to find your space more. Who's my clique? What am I vibing with? Where do I belong? And so I think around that time, around middle school, 6th, 7th grade, is when I started kind of trying to piece together what my identity was going to be, in this world. And I think between there and maybe, I don't know, between 7th grade and maybe my freshman year of college, that whole period was me just trying to figure out which space was I going to occupy. Because all around me, you would hear that you had to pick one thing. Like when it came to my major, you have to pick one thing and stick with this is how it is. We're binary people. It's either this or that. And so I went through that phase of saying, well, what if I like this and that? What if I want to do this and I want to be in choir and I want to be in band? Or what if I want to do, I want to be able to do more than one thing. And I found out that was something that was a recurring theme in a lot of areas of my life where I was forced to do one thing. And so around the time I was 21, 22, then I realized I have the choice. I had to go back to that kid. I had to go back to my 6-year-old self. I had to go back to my 7-year-old self when I knew who I was and say, this is who I am. This is what I want. This is what I like. And then, So I think like I've always known, you just go through that phase of questioning whether or not you feel you fit.
So how old were you when you I don't know why I'm getting feedback. I'm getting a lot of feedback.
You mind until you ask.
Yeah, I'm gonna mute. Go ahead, try it now.
Okay. Yeah, that's better. So I know this question is kind of generic, but I always ask, how old were you when you decided to come out?
I guess I can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess I came out when I was I guess 14, 15, but it wasn't very welcoming. It was one of the most scariest things I've ever had to do thus far. And
that was actually my second question. Yeah.
Yeah. It was and it wasn't the nice, warm, welcoming, oh, we accept you for being gay and be great and live life. You're a regular person. It's okay. It was very abusive and it was very tears and dramatic. And the crazy thing about it was it came from a gay person.
Wow.
Because my parents
are,
wow. My mother, my biological mom is gay. And so, she deals with schizophrenia and bipolar disorder. And, being gay, being from the hood, and being black, I had to deal with all of those things growing up. And so coming out, I came out at 14, 15, but I never can fully live outwardly until in my 20s. Like when Prince was saying, I so appreciate Prince and his experiences and his story, because I didn't have the courage to come out during that time that he came out, or I didn't have, because it was so uncertain. Like you couldn't just walk down Broad Street. I don't care how great and gay we are today, we were not that way a few years ago. And so I wouldn't be walking through Newark screaming, or walking through the brick city like, I'm gay and gay rights and God loves me and all of those. I didn't do that until, really a few years ago. I've always been an advocate, but I've always been a safe advocate. Nowadays, I live my life vicariously and fully as the best I possibly can. I care about what nobody has to say. I agree with what I agree with. I agree with what makes sense. I agree with science. I agree with life. And I agree with God, but the God of my understanding. And I get to live vicariously through everything I've created for myself and the world has created for me. So that's that on that. Y'all know I can keep going.
That was
Nah,
great. How about you?
how about you, Derek?
Pardon me, Derek.
Yeah.
How about you? I lost train.
So for me, I came out when I was 22. I was a junior in college. It was like around 2009, and I think that year before then, I had went through like a breakup with my high school sweetheart, and I was able to kind of like explore my own sexuality at my own pace, in my own time. And I was a very active student leader on my campus. I was chief of staff for SGA for 2 years. I was a state president of a business fraternity and all this other stuff. I'm an alpha. So, the whole being a fraternity thing. And what I realized was that I got a chance to experience a college life, or, that most openly gay or bisexual men, Black men, don't get a chance to experience at a Black school in the South. I'm Southern, I'm from Louisiana, and I went to Grambling, went to HBCU, and was raised in the Bible Belt. I was raised as a Catholic, so very conservative values in my core. But I realized like, oh wait, I have an opportunity to, to change the narrative, for outside of what people think or what they were suggesting about me or whatever. I had an opportunity that was sitting in my lap as a person of influence to change it for those who still felt like they needed to hide their identities or that they couldn't be who they were. And I made a decision before going back to school in fall 2009 that I was going to have a boyfriend. And there was this guy who actually used to joke. I mean, he used to hit on me, but I took it as, it's funny, like I didn't really take guys seriously. It wasn't a thing to me for a long time. But I remember asking him, I was like, are you still interested in me? Like dating or anything like that? I literally called him and he was like, yeah. I was like, oh, great. Well, I think I'm going to try to have a boyfriend this semester. And maybe we should, meet up for lunch when we get to campus, and we can just, go over the, the logistics of what this relationship potentially could look like or what it means, whatever. And my friends laughed at me because I treated my first, homosexual relationship, like real relationship, as if it was like a business meeting or whatever. But I didn't know how to approach it. I was just like, it's just like buying weed for the first time. Like, can I have 3 weed, sir? Like, it's out. You don't know what's, so that's how it started. And I'd known other gay guys that were on campus, but there was no real relationship there. Like I wasn't part of the community. I didn't understand the lingo, because for what most people saw, they were like, oh, he's just another either an effeminate straight man, or they thought I was DL, or they thought I was bi-curious, or whatever they thought. They knew that I wasn't part of the community. I wasn't part of the community, even if I identified with it. And
right.
So my first boyfriend had the chore of really like teaching me a lot of things, and it also taught me how to be more connected to men in a different way. And I was like, okay, well, if I'm gonna have a boyfriend, and I'm going to try to, change how, gay Black men are looked at when they pop up at an interest meeting for a fraternity, or when they decide to run for SGA president, or when they request to be removed from certain housing situations because their roommate's homophobic. You know what I mean? I had to be open, and it had to be public. And
was that a challenge, being in a fraternity? I know my brother. I asked because my brother's an alpha, and I know some of the stuff that he went through. So I'm just wondering, was that? Did you go to? You went to HBCU?
I did. I went to
Okay. 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 Okay.
Grand State University. So we finished the tweaking that coming out part because you said if it was hard. Before I came out to my family, it made it to Facebook.
It made it to Facebook.
Right, it made it to Facebook. But I had a boyfriend. I had a boyfriend. Made it to Facebook before I had a chance to
do it yourself.
Right. And that probably was my fault because I didn't really think about it. I mean, first of all, I didn't think they were gonna care. It wasn't as big a deal to me in a familiar sense as it was for, my platform for public advocacy. But I think I came out to my mom that semester, like maybe me and him had been dating openly for like 2 or 3 months. And I called her because we were having an issue where I felt like we weren't communicating well.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, can you give me some advice? Because, I'm arguing with my boyfriend. And I just want to be able to get through to him. And she gave me some advice. And then she looked back, she said, wait a minute, you're what now? So, it's like, well, you're going to do what you want to do. You've always done what you wanted to do. And, I just want you happy. And so that's what the experience was like for me.
Wow.
On the social side, as far as school is concerned, and being a fraternity, I think it was a shock to them that I would do it openly. I think there have always been gay or bisexual men in fraternities. It's just because of social pressures, they've had to keep it a secret. I crossed in 2008, and straight out the gate, I received an award at nationals, and I got a chance to meet some other brothers. And, I was like, oh, wait, they made it seem like being gay was the worst thing, but like some of y'all in here, some of the milk ain't clean. You know what I mean? So me having that experience and being able to, and going back to school, that also prompted me to be more open. So I was like, well, I'm learning behind the veil that there's a whole community of people who are being forced in the shadows.
Right.
And that the type of pressure that comes with having to repress a part of your identity and who you are. I can't imagine waking up tomorrow and before going to ShopRite to get my food, me having to paint my face white and me putting on a blonde wig and blue eyes so that I can, fit in
with everybody else.
You know what I mean? Like I can't imagine having to go through that type of theatrics to feel welcome and to feel safe. And I think that's another part of the safety aspect of it, is that gay Black men in the South, where I'm from, they didn't feel safe. I watched a gay boy get beat up to the point he got hospitalized when I was in high school because he had an intimate moment with another dude that wasn't out, and it got out. He beat him up, like beat his head into the ground, and people just watched. So I didn't want that to be the case anymore. I felt like if I was able to do something, I couldn't get on top of a hill with a megaphone, but I felt like me just showing up and me being me was activism, because there were so many there were other men and there were other students who were underclassmen who looked to me as a leader, who were part of my organizations and saw how I carried myself and saw the doors that were being opened for me. And I just felt like it wouldn't be fair for me to walk through the way that I did and not leave space for them to feel comfortable, to be able to walk in and be bold. And I think one of my proudest moments was before I graduated, being able to see another line, two lines from different organizations come in where they were openly gay Black men. And, I couldn't describe the feeling, but when we saw each other, like, I see you, you see me, and that was a very, very proud moment for me. And I knew that whatever happened in my life, I just always had to just be me wherever I am and whatever space I'm in.
Absolutely.
Let me just be me, because I have no idea what door or what chain or what barrier is going to break for someone that's coming behind me.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's awesome. So it wasn't where most of the time you feel like, or if you're on the outside looking in, you would think that most gays would have a issue with coming out and everything is all bad, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think I've heard oh no, I have. Well, I've heard one good story about, someone coming out and everything wasn't so bad.
Yeah. And I think it's about, we're all different. We all come from different backgrounds and have different levels of support. And, my story, because of the way I came out or the purpose and the meaning behind me coming out and living out and open, is maybe totally different for someone else. There are a lot of people that I know that were forced out of the closet. They didn't get a chance to come out. They were exposed before they were
Right.
to either accept or to navigate in that space. And I think for me, because I'm such an antinomian, I honestly didn't care about background. The debate in my mind was never about, oh, if I come out, am I going to lose this? Or if I come out, is this person not going to like me anymore? And that, regardless, that happened. When I came out, it became public. There were some people who, their homophobia jumped out, or I revealed myself, and they revealed their true self to me as well. And I was okay with it. It's like, okay, well, if you feel like if your view of me has changed because of who I decided to love or where I find my happiness, then you go be happy in your corner, and I'm gonna go and be happy in mine.
Absolutely.
And as long as you're not, it's not an invitation for you to disrespect me, because it doesn't matter who I'm loving. It's not gonna happen. And I think that was something that I had to assert for maybe about 2 years after coming out, is that there were certain people that were close to me that wanted to challenge me on it.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you need to let it go. Hang it up, flat screen. Worry about yourself, and let me worry about me. And even when it came to family, I've had it wasn't all peaches and cream. Me and my dad had to really go through a storm, like a real storm, before we got a chance to see sunshine and actually be able to, embrace each other as men and to understand that we all have our own path to walk. And I think with what I was able to show him, and more so about educating, not just him, but other people who may have their own beliefs, not just out of what their religion says, or just out of ignorance, out of social ignorance. You haven't talked to a gay person before, so you don't know what their life was like. You don't know what issues they're battling. You don't know how this affects their mental, emotional, and spiritual state. What it feels like for them, until you're able to empathize. So for me saying, hey, you had issues in your life where people were very mean to you because you were Black. That's something that you can't change. Or if you did change it, you would feel really weird operating in your space just to get this one thing. So imagine how a queer person feels having to try to disguise their being or their spirit, because being queer is a spirit. Mm-hmm. You mean tell me I have to try to put a mask on my energy and my spirit for your comfort?
Right.
No, I'm not doing it. People kill themselves because of that.
Yeah,
right.
Right.
The children, there are children out there that, as an educator, there are children out there that struggle with self-identity, and it's not okay. It's not okay. We're in 2020, experiencing COVID right now, and there are thousands of people at home crying, and already we're trying to deal with sexuality and how to survive and how to live, and now they have to do it isolated. And I feel like in today's day and age, it's not an okay situation. It's not an okay thing. And I think we need to provide more platforms like this to talk about it. As a Black man from the streets, I I identify different. I'm not necessarily. I'm a queer person, but I'm more masculine than I am feminine, and that's a different conversation as well. But every gay person isn't the same. Every gay person is not. Gay people are not a plague. It's science. It's science at this point, and it's redundant and it's counterproductive to not move in productivity, which is gay people are the new now. Ignorance is in the past, and we need to move right on along and
I,
and be a better and inspire our youth to be better.
I got a question. Because you said that, and this is actually leading up. Is exactly what you all were talking about leads up to this next question that I have for you all. There have been a lot of recent posts bringing to light the violent attacks on and even murder of the trans women. Just recently, 3 were nearly killed in Hollywood. How big is this issue that seems, is it just more than just post, or how big is this? Is it more than social media, or how big is it in the community?
It's huge. It's absolutely huge. You don't. Since slavery, people have been raped and beaten, and LGBTQ people, especially trans, have been targeted specifically
Mhm.
because they look different, because they dress different, because they choose to move the way that they choose. This is the environment in the society that we live in. And America is the most crucial when it comes to trans murders. And it's not okay.
So the situation with the 3 trans women that happened in Hollywood yesterday or over the weekend, Eden Doll, I think that's the name. It's tragic. It is just another tale in the senseless, abuse of trans women, especially Black trans women. And I hope that they catch the person that attacked them.
Yeah.
But more locally, in April of this year, there was a murder that happened in Newark.
Right.
And I'm gonna try to pick my words.
Wisely, right?
Pick my words carefully, and not. There is a need, and I think that it's not. I don't want to just make this a Black issue,
Right.
because I think that there's an intersectionality that comes with it. But when it comes to our Black trans women,
Although most of the trans who have been killed have been Black, but
right?
I digress.
Like I don't want to make it a Black issue.
Mhm.
But when you look at history, and most major movements that have happened to free our people have been led by Black, gay, queer, or trans people.
Absolutely right.
The people who have it in their soul to liberate and to fight, because we have to. The response that Black men and Black women have in a majority to the death of these Black trans women is disgusting.
Absolutely
When I
disgusting.
say the response, I'm specifically speaking to the lack of response. And
it's mostly the men.
Yeah, and that's something that plagues the LGBTQ community too, because the gay rights movement was led by a Black trans woman, and I heard them say that they feel like they're at the bottom of the totem pole of a movement they started.
Yeah.
but going back to Ashley Moore, this young woman was murdered and left for dead in front of the YMCA, the YWMCA, whatever. And her death wasn't even reported. Wasn't reported. This is local. This is here.
Right downtown.
Right downtown.
Right where everybody can, yeah.
Wasn't reported. Her mother didn't find out until July. She found it on Facebook.
Wow.
That her daughter had been murdered. None of the organizations, none of the LGBTQ organizations had been made aware of this murder. And we have people are stationed and positioned in place to be, advocates and activists for us, like even down at the police station,
right.
at Newark PD, who were supposed to be liaisons for our community. Not a word.
Right.
And as a person who's worked in the field, and I remember one of our clients got attacked downtown.
Yeah.
And we didn't find out till she was in the hospital. And I'm calling, trying to see, well, why didn't anybody call us? Where are the advocates? Is there something set up at the hospitals where, especially if a trans person is attacked, that you get an advocate on the phone, you get an advocate down there for them so that we make sure that they get the services they need. One, you got us sitting in these policy meetings with PD trying to create these consent decrees and all this stuff about how to approach policing this community and how to make it more safer for us. Yeah, we're getting murdered and there's silence. It's disgusting. And it's quite, at one point you're sad about it, because you think, someday that could be me out there,
Right.
And is anybody gonna care? Should I feel nervous about walking home at night? Should I feel nervous about walking during the day?
Like, gay people are already a small community, and then you have for it to have been 18 transgender deaths in the United States of America in 2020 mid-year is ill proportioned, it's disrespectful, and it's absolutely disgusting.
But I believe that there's more than that. There's more than that.
It is more than that.
If we say 18, those are the ones that are being reported.
Right. Reported.
That shows us that even though media takes advantage of Black trauma, they take advantage of minority struggles and movements, and they monetize it, they market it. When Pride comes around, everybody got a rainbow flag.
Please, okay.
We support the gays. No, you want our money. You know what I mean? When the Black Lives Matter thing happened, of course there are some businesses that don't care one way or the other. Listen, I just don't want my store to get burned down. Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
Bring us that dollar. Black people are being murdered, and you don't see that same response because they're not looked at as a consumer base. We're American. This is an imperial capitalistic society. Everything is motivated by money. Can't maybe believe anything different. Our education system and our institutions are based on monetization. How do we train these kids so that when they graduate, they can go and make us some money? Yeah. Religion, though spirituality is very important for grounding human beings. Spirituality tied into the corporate structure of nonprofit social work is about money. How are we able to move money from this program, from this social program, to this church, so that we can expand it? How do we take this money from this building and purchase up land and build up infrastructure?
CSR, corporate social responsibility. Yeah,
Everything is about money. So unfortunately, when you're working the field, like, well, how do we show, or how do we tie trans lives to there being some form of, corporate impact? I think until that happens, we're going to keep seeing our sisters and our brothers die until there is an impact.
But I also think that gay lives have to matter to black adults everywhere, male and female, and predominantly on the male. I think it's time that other black males like Blue, like yourself, you're a heterosexual male, you're a heterosexual father, you're a heterosexual husband. And, I think, brothers like yourself have to bring awareness to other brothers. Our community, first off, a lot of our male community is inside the jail cell. When they come outside the jail cell, they have a jail cell mentality, regardless of the fact. So they're not educated on the right things, wrong things, and proper morale. So it is time for us as a community, completely, as heterosexual, straight, black, gay, white, I don't give a damn, to start having conversations with other I'm directing this to the males, because the males are the ones that we have a problem with, the ones that have voices, the ones that can do more if we start working together as an African American community when it comes to our platforms and how we are as a culture. We have to get out there and talk to and educate other black brothers. Being gay is not a plague, my brother. Stop repressing all of that energy, my brother. Stop hurting our women, my brother. Relax, my brother. It is okay. Go get you a man, my brother. King. Okay. Okay. And I'm just being frank with you. You understand? What you do with your dang-a-lang-a-lang-a-lang or your assets has nothing to do with who you are as a person and what your character and what your morale brings. Okay, Black lives can't matter until all Black lives matter. That's LGBTQ. That's hetero. That's homo. That's trans. That's all.
Right.
Angie said, how important do you feel the upcoming election is to the LGBTQ community, and what is at stake?
Everything is at stake. If we don't go with Biden, okay, so first off, Trump is not even in this conversation. Trump dump Trump, all that other great stuff. Biden is for LGBTQ community. He's proven that time and time again. He is for progression. He is for change. In 2020, I want to see no racism. I want to see our black people getting the recitation, everything that we're supposed to be entitled to. I want to see LGBTQ. I want to see inclusion. I want to see equality across the grid, and that's what he's given. So for the LGBTQ community, President Biden, 2020 election.
So, tying your question into the answer for the last question. So I spoke about the impact that has to happen, or us being able to bridge, what it means. I mean, even though I'll say all lives matter, but in order for that to be true, we really have to accept that every life is valuable. And the way, like you said, we live in an imperial capitalistic society. And it's a crazy game that we have to play as far as always trying to prove ourselves. I think when Black people are dying, one of the ways that we end up proving ourselves or trying to prove our worth is that we jump to the front lines and we go to protest, to create awareness that we're pissed off. Faith, we've protested together, you know what I mean? And outside of raising the awareness, then the next step is to impact the corporate structure, which is when we start doing our blackout days, when we start holding our money, holding that black dollar. And I think that because we are the most expensive consumer base, when it comes to dealing with trans issues, dealing with LGBTQ issues, we have to, as a community, like Faith said, we have to stand up and back all of us.
Yeah.
You want me to get on the front lines and protest and riot and all that kind of stuff because of when Black heterosexual men get murdered by the police, but a gay man gets jumped in the street, you don't even feel like you can call. You don't jump in, you don't try to help, you don't feel anything. You have no empathy for me as your brother.
I think that
Well, that's what time this election. You have no empathy for me as your brother. So if my blackness isn't enough for me to feel protected, if my blackness isn't enough for me to feel protected because of how I choose to love, then when we start talking about how to build Black community, it doesn't matter who the president of the United States is. It doesn't matter who you vote for in November. If we haven't decided as a community how we're going to build up, it doesn't matter which white man is in the White House.
Okay.
Say it louder for the people in the back.
You know, so this election is important. You know, since I've been on this planet, since I've been on this earth, and been able to watch election coverage, it's always going to be the most important election of our lifetime. Mm-hmm. However, we are literally sitting in the middle of a global pandemic where our country is trailing behind everybody else. There are countries who have less resources. We're losing. We're supposed to be doing all this winning. Make America great again. We're supposed to do all this winning. We're losing. We're losing lives. We're losing jobs. We're losing allies. We're losing a lot. There's so much on the table that we're losing. And when we look at who it's affecting Black people the most. And when you start affecting the Black community, guess who's at the bottom of that? That's us. Because we start getting cut out first.
Right.
You know what I mean? So the election is very important. But it's only going to be important when we're on the agenda. If neither party is talking about restoring the rights that this orange man just rolled back for health insurance for a transgender person. This man came in and put a ban on transgender people who were transitioning in the military. You know, there's it's a blatant attack on the identity of a group of people. Mm-hmm. And I think that I support Joe Biden, but we have to hold him accountable, get him in, and then hold him accountable. Absolutely. That you're protecting this class of people. We want full protections. I don't even want equality anymore. Because what I've learned is in this country, as a Black man, when I say I want equality, you're going to give me the best that you can give to the poorest, most uneducated white person. You're going to give me the most that you can give to the least of your own kind. That's what equality sounds like to them. I don't want that anymore. I want equity. I want everything that I deserve to make sure that this playing field is leveraged. Give me what I deserve. I don't want what you got just because you got it. I don't want that. I want what I deserve. I want what is owed to me.
Absolutely.
And my being and my people, so that we can make this thing right. If that's the goal, if that's the goal to make it right, give us our equity. Mm-hmm. Equality is a scam. Don't fall for the hype.
Talk that stuff, Prince.
I'm just saying.
But honestly, as a culture first, we have to come up culturally and say, how do we unite? Like, what is our goal? Like, as a Black people, what do we want? As a Black people, what are we owed? As a Black people, where are we going from here? As a black, like, you get what I'm saying? We don't think about these things. We don't think about these things enough. Like, where are we going? Where do we want to see ourselves 20 years from now? We're undivided, huh?
But we also have to think about who is leading that. We are a people.
It take community leaders like yourself. But
the thing about my fault, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you good, Blue.
The thing about from coming from a straight man, the thing about it is understanding. You know, when I was a kid, I grew up and you would look down on oh, this person's gay or this person's acting this way, you know, until I started getting older and I have family members that you know that are in the community, and until you have an understanding of that, you have so many quote unquote straight men out here that are so homophobic. And I think that what that what's the word I'm looking for? Them being that homophobic, I think it comes with them being confused. Some of them actually are confused. I'm mhm.
Confused or
I think he's talking about. I think he's saying that they're questionable. That like they're on
I,
the DL.
I think
Most of
that
this does come from that.
yeah, growing up, you look at stuff like you know what you like and you know what you don't like, and I think there are a lot of supposedly straight men out here that are very homophobic. Nah, I don't, or they just don't. They're not educated on that. Yo, there's nothing wrong with that. This person is a person just like me and you, and I think we until we actually have that knowledge or people have that knowledge and not look or shun things away that they don't understand, I think it'll never change. And that's why I wanted to do this show. Is it's not just it's for myself, but it's for everybody that wants to learn because it's things that you guys are talking about that I never been through, but it's interesting to know. Like, how did that affect you when you were growing up? How did this happen? What happened?
hmm
So I think it comes with the knowledge.
But you know what also is going to be more important than the having understanding? It's the empathy that has to come with it, you know. And
Absolutely.
I think that, you know, for us as a community, as American Blacks, we've been fractured so many times, intentionally. There have been so many devices put into our community to divide us, to put the black man against the black woman, to put the black child against black parents, to put the black gays against the straights, and to put the straight men versus the gay men versus the gay women, and I mean the straight women. And there's so many different devices that are used, so many different tools used to divide us. I think that outside of having the conversations to create understanding, we also have to have conversations that create a sense of empathy, where it's like, listen, we're all struggling.
Yeah.
Whether the struggles are individual or they're different. You know, me and Faith may relate on certain things more than me and Blue, but at the end of the day, we're all black men.
Exactly.
We all relate on certain things, and I'm sure that we have more in common than we do have different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As far as values, as far as loving our family and understanding what it means to be a provider, and like all of those things, you know.
But we're not. But the crazy thing, but Prince, I don't think that we are that much different. I think that you have more masculine more masculine black men as it pertains to black men or gay community. You have more masculine men, and then you have more feminine men, and then you have those ones that are inside the middle. You have the same thing in heterosexual. You have the same thing inside a heterosexual male. You have a feminine heterosexual male, overly masculine heterosexual male, and the guy that's inside the middle. It's all about we all have inside heterosexual relationships, they're the same as homosexual relationships, with the exception of how to conceive. But it is still it is a battle, just like they have their battles inside a relationship. And if we start seeing each other more similar than different, like we're a fucking different species or some shit, then we would start relating a little bit more.
Yeah, that just boils down to the like rehumanizing each other. Like there have been so many, like I said, there's been so many different tools used to divide us, and at the end of the day, we end up dehumanizing the other type of person.
Right.
And
Yeah.
when what Blue was talking about when he was growing up and how people look down on gay people, the questions need to go back to, okay, so why am I looking down at this person? If there's a conversation about understanding, if I was talking to a homophobic heterosexual, because they're homophobic homosexuals too.
Right.
If I was talking to a homophobic heterosexual, the line of questioning would be, so when did you know that you hated gay people? Or what is it about and I've had these conversations with men before. What is it about a gay man that bothers you the most?
Right.
That's when you don't know yourself.
Right. Well, I mean, and I'm here to help you. Like as I am, like after these questions, I want you to take them in, and you learn so much more about yourself. It's like, okay, so if you see this in this person, and you hate this thing. Like it literally lights a fire in you. Why do you hate it? Well, it's not something I would do. So you despise it so much because you wouldn't do it. Now, if you decided to do it, what would happen? Would the world end? Would your head explode? Oh, I would lose blah, blah, blah. Oh, okay. So your fear of homosexuality is rooted in the fact that if you were to choose, if you had the choice to do this, you feel like you would lose everything, or you would be subjected to the type of hate and vitriol that other gay people give. So instead of being a person to stop it, you participate in it because you find safety.
Yeah.
You find safety in hating gay people because hating them keeps the eyes off of you. Maybe if I hate this gay person enough, people won't remember I'm black, and these white folks leave me alone because we can relate and just get rid of the gays together. You know, it's just like when girls, well, I don't say girls, gays are the same way sometimes too. When you both have a common enemy, you know, y'all may not be friends. I ain't cool with you, but we both hate this bit. I don't know if I can curse on this.
Nah,
show,
you can curse. That's fine.
I'm just saying, like, we both hate this person, so we're gonna link up together and tear this person down because that's our common goal. Even though you and I don't really like each other that much, we don't have anything in common, but we do have this common enemy. And I feel like a lot of times the LGBT community has been that common enemy for other people. And when it comes to how Black people deal with it, I think it's time for us to be like, wait a minute, we have greater enemies that we could be fighting right now together, as opposed to you linking up with them to destroy me, because I am part of you. I'm part of you. I'm your arm, I'm your leg, I'm your mouthpiece, I'm your eyes, I'm your ears. Why would you join in with someone else to stab yourself in the eye?
I was enslaved just like you was enslaved. I'm somebody's child just like you're somebody's child. Do you understand? Like, do you get it? Like, we are brothers. We are common. We don't even have to be enemies, technically speaking. We can just unite and be one and be great and let our business be our damn business. But we so focused on what a Bible is telling you to do, which no one listens to, and everyone questions. And God, you know, if you technically slept with somebody outside of your marriage, you're going to hell. And there's a whole bunch of different things inside there that's very disputable, or a Quran, or a this, or a that. But we never want to sit here and just respect science. We never just want to sit here and want to grow, right, as a community. You know, and I'm saying that. Oh, go ahead, Bill.
Not my fault. My fault. You know what's funny? I wanted to share with y'all. I live in Philly, right? Mm-hmm. And I don't know if you guys come to Philly or not, but there's Philly has a gayborhood.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know
what
Philly has.
He said a gayborhood.
It's called a gayborhood. It's called gayborhood.
Oh wow!
That's where all the daddies with the beards and bellies are.
Yeah. So I was actually it was a group of us. A friend of mine was like, "Yo, I want to do this event." The venue was beautiful. Mm-hmm. Now, when we go there, me and Ange go to this. This is, I'm new to Philly, so I'm like, she was like, "Oh, this is the gayborhood." She was like, "Oh, you see, every street has a rainbow on the street." So when we go in, the venue is beautiful. We come outside, and there's guys that walk by and they're whistling at me. I'm like, "What's going on?" And she made a good point. She says, "Well, how can you get mad if you're in their neighborhood? How do they know what you are or who you are?" Mm-hmm. And when she said it, I'm like, "Well, damn, you know what? I am in the neighborhood." Mm-hmm. So actually, a person would assume, without knowing, that, oh, well, he might be gay, even though I'm definitely not. But it's just the fact that when people, it's society itself, we prejudge. Just like when it first happened, I'm like, what in the world? Like, is this guy, these dudes whistling at me? But when she broke it down and I had got the understanding, like, yo, you know what? How can I really get mad? And it comes back to understanding. And I think that in the Black community, as far as men, it's a big gap as far as just understanding each other. I say a community, but we all are a community. it shouldn't be separated. I mean, not saying, I mean, you are who you are. If you know who you are, then it shouldn't affect you in any way.
And I feel
Don't.
like brothers, I feel like brothers shouldn't be getting upset when another brother hit on you. You can, like, at the end of the day, that's a
Fine.
compliment. It is a compliment.
Right.
If I look good today, I want the world to tell me I look good. You understand? I want male, female,
We
trans.
know. We
I
know.
want, I want the animals to smile at me, bark, laugh, like let me know I look amazing. I'm not necessarily trying to hit on you just because I'm gay, but even if I did, you can dub me the same way you would dub a chick, a ugly chick. You know, I'm not saying chicks are ugly, but you know
I'm
there are
saying
people
that
who are
not
ridiculous.
only ugly chicks get dubbed or
You
women
know,
get dubbed.
but women get dubbed. You get what I'm saying? So the same way, but I'm talking about the heterosexual, men. If you heterosexual, the same way you would dub a woman is the same way you would dub a gay male that's looking for interest in anything that looks necessarily good or anything that he may feel that may be gay, but he may be inaccurate about. Just like women are inaccurate about women, it's the same thing, vice versa.
But
I,
in
You
terms
know,
of, oh, go ahead.
but
no, you know what I find a little odd is how it's harder on a gay man than it is on a gay female.
I was just going to say that.
Well, that's yeah. I mean, patriarchy exists, and um, because of the social constructs based around masculine energy and feminine energy,
Hmm.
women are um, allowed to express a different side of the emotional spectrum. So when we talk about masculine versus feminine, um, when we talk about softer emotions or more of vulnerability, basically is what we're really getting down to, is that women are allowed to be more vulnerable. Sexuality is considered to be something that is sacred and a moment of vulnerability.
Mhm.
Traditionally, the traditional belief is that sex is supposed to be for reproduction between a man and a woman. And then when you introduce religion to it, it's supposed to be between a husband and a wife, not just a man and a woman, but a man and a woman who have committed themselves to reproduce together and to dominate together as a unit.
Mhm.
So because of the male female aspect of it, you expect there to be a balance of energy. You have a balance of feminine energy that is supposed to be a space where this man with this woman, he can explore those particular energies in that moment. When you're married to and Todd, since you're the only female here, when you're dating a man or when you dated a man, you're married, right?
I'm divorced.
Oh, divorced. Well, when you were married, you've been able to experience with your husband, you're his safety, where if he does feel a vulnerable moment where he's like, damn, I grew up, I wasn't even able to cry, but I'm hurt right now. And I just need to get this out. You know what I mean? So, but that's that woman, because she has that feminine energy and that is how she operates. She's able to compliment him in that space. Just like when there's a rough moment where, God forbid, I've seen this too, where, a woman is falling apart because of whatever's happening. That masculine energy being there, that fortitude, that that logic, that let's be pragmatic, let's think, blah blah blah. She's able to pull out of that,
right?
Pull herself back into a different space. So that is the tug and pull of feminine and masculine energy, and that is the basis of what that unit is supposed to be like. When you get into internalized homophobia, when it comes to straight men, the battle is more so about how they don't know how to operate around the energy when it's coming from another male. It may make them uncomfortable. If it was their mom, it's different. But being a male who operates in a masculine space, who is used to being around other masculine energy because it's similar. Mm-hmm. You're around masculine, even if it's masculine energy coming from a woman, they relate to it more. They don't have to pull anything out from them. It's like, you don't have to you're not pulling any feminine energy out of them. You don't have to be vulnerable with them. Bros can be bros together. We go through stuff because you create that safe space with each other.
But sometimes it's also too close for comfort.
It can be too close for comfort. But when you're dealing with a male who is very, very, very dedicated to exuding masculine energy. We call it hypermasculinity, which can also lead to toxic masculinity.
Mm-hmm.
They are not emotionally equipped to handle feminine energy from other men. To them, it is a moment of chaos or confusion. It's not. It doesn't stream the same way. What happens is you have to try to figure out how to balance those energies. Gay male, there are some men that you just will never see me around because I know that my energy is volatile to them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There are some women that I know that when they see me, they have their own opinions or whatever, whether it's about their beliefs. I can talk off of your energy. Yeah, you and I aren't going to work well together. Our energy is toxic.
I can't see that for you. And that's crazy. I can't see that for you.
For me?
Yes, and I know you.
Wow.
You know, I know.
But I think that's because I try to keep my energy as clean as possible. Like I try to be authentic. People get their energies dirty when they try to manipulate it into certain situations. I don't have the time or I don't have the desire to be part of that particular experience. Me, I'm just supposed to show up, I'm supposed to be here and give you everything I got. Either you accept it or you don't. And I'm okay if you don't accept it. I'm okay with it. That's your work to do. It has nothing to do with me. You know what I mean? So like I said, like you said, the conversation, the understanding, the empathy. Now, even though I know that you may not be able to balance the energy around me, if I have to work with you, you and I are going to come to an understanding because we're going to create a goal, and you and I understand we have to get to this goal, right? Yeah. And I'm going to do my earnest to find a way to relate to you because at the end of the day, we're all human. We black, gay, straight, Christian, atheist, doesn't matter. At the end, we're all human. So the work begins when we start ticking these things away, not looking at stuff that makes us different. How can I relate to you as a human being? How do I relate to you as my brother? Even if you're homophobic, you hate the gays, cool. I have had friends for years who I met in a homophobic space, who hated gays, who threw the Bible every time they opened their mouth about such and such, who would visibly get like disgusted if somebody brought up me having a boyfriend. And it wasn't until something happened to someone in their family. It's like, oh, you lost your cousin. Wow, what happened? Oh, he got shot. Oh, he got shot for what? For doing blah, blah, blah. I said, I said, so your cousin was gay and they got shot. You hate gay people, so why are you upset? What is I'm like, why are you upset? I thought this would be something that you would be ecstatic about. Or at least, level. And he was like, no, he said no. He said, yeah, he was gay, but that was still my cousin. Like, I still love him. Right. Like my brother, and it's blah, blah. And I said back, I was like, oh, I said, and then the penny drops in the bucket. So it's in those moments where we remember, like, that's still a human life. This is still a human life. This is still my brother in this struggle. This is still my sister in this struggle. And once we get to that baseline of us remembering that we're human first, none of that other stuff matters. It's all over, just like that. Just like that.
How do we progress when we as a culture are at battle with one another is the question. And I think that's where that ties in.
How do we progress?
Mm-hmm.
I think doing stuff like this.
Right.
Even if it's 2 people, 3 people that's listening, it is that person's going to tell somebody and that person's going to tell somebody, yo, I didn't know that. I didn't know this. I didn't know that. I think it all starts with the conversation and understanding. Like I said, it's talking to you all this stuff that I didn't know, or it's questions that I had that you answered. You know what I'm saying? It gives me a better understanding. Am I homophobic? No, I'm not homophobic. I have an uncle. I have family members that I love no different. It's just for me, like I said, I think when you know yourself, I don't have no problem saying, yo, y'all my brothers. You know what I'm saying? I don't have no problem saying, or going out, or yo, y'all want to go for a drink, whatever. because when you know who you are, then none of that should bother you. You know what I'm saying? Like Derek, I'm just meeting you today. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate it. It's an honor to meet you, a pleasure to meet you. And and Faith, man, I feel like I know Faith. We done been on shows, curse people out.
You feel me?
But
It's what I do, man.
you know what I'm saying? But it's just, I think people are people, and you have to be accepting of who people are. And I have a daughter, and I tell my daughter, and I let her know, you never look down on anybody, or you never, because of their race, religion, or what their preference is, because you never know. If my daughter decide, or if I have a son, or kids in general decide, listen, this is what I want to do, I'm not going to hate them. But
Yeah.
I'm gonna disown you, because no, I'm gonna love you the same. But it's
Right.
unfortunate that some people that are, or have been brought up to be very homophobic, you have those fathers that are like, no, I'm not. This is unacceptable.
It's you can't adjust to anything in life. Everything in life ain't supposed to be set in a certain manner or a way. You have to sit here and get out of that category, create your own damn story, and write the damn narrative. I think that people in life need to grow up. I feel like white people done sat here and criticized and ridiculed and enslaved the black folk just because the color of our skin. Now we gonna sit here and ridicule and criticize somebody because of their sexual preference. It doesn't, it never, one never merits the other, and it's counterproductive. Like I said earlier, I said some good shit, by the way. But
Pat yourself on the back, why don't you?
but I really feel like we definitely gotta keep these conversations going. We definitely gotta keep these conversations going, and I really feel like Tati should have something to say. Something.
Oh, no. Angie had a question.
Okay.
She said, I have an honest question with the roles. Why do some femmes date butch and vice versa for gay men? Trying to understand the role reversal.
Yeah, I want to know that also.
We're gonna eradicate that right now. There is no. Well, I'm sorry, Prince. I'm gonna eradicate it because let me explain something to you. Because I'm a different kind of gay. So remember, we're two different kind of gays.
I didn't know there was different kind of gays.
And so this is what we need you guys to understand. There are different kind of people fighting for different kind of reasons, and there's different kind of gay people. Everybody is not the same. I'm the type of gay person that you meet me inside the football field, you're gonna get your ass knocked off your bumper. I'm a different kind of gay person, but. Period. Listen, so this is, Blue, that was a look like you ready to go inside the field. I don't know. A little shaky. So
I was looking like, hold up.
Yeah, because I'm like, I don't understand. That's like saying I'm a different type of black female. Like I'm the type of black female that's liable to knock your spinner off, or I'm a black female that'll just be all meek and waiting for somebody to come do the work for me. I don't think there's a different type of gay person.
What I'm saying is that like honestly, there's every gay person is not the same gay person. Everyone doesn't have like pure feminine energy. Everybody doesn't have pure. It's not just the feminine thing, because I feel like more feminine.
Answer her question. You didn't answer her question. She asked a specific question, and you went on about who you were and what you like.
I'm sorry.
A very specific question.
When you start talking about football fields, I'm like,
my bad. Go back.
Her question
the question was, with the roles, why do some femmes date butch and vice versa for gay men?
I said I wanted to eradicate that because inside some gay relationships, butch and stereotypes don't matter. There are some relationships inside the gay world where a woman is just with a woman and there is no label. There does not have to be a wife and a wife, or you are a wife and a wife, but there does not have to necessarily be more masculinity, more feminine, more manly, more aggressive, not aggressive. There are some relationships like that. I need y'all to understand that that's valid.
Nah, you're right.
No, but you have some feminine women that don't want to date another feminine woman. She would rather have a more masculine female.
Right.
But my
right?
thing is, why date a masculine woman than rather just date a man?
Can I jump? Can I?
But that's a
Go ahead.
different.
Go ahead.
He like
Go ahead.
Right. Okay. So,
come on.
yeah. So, I was reading her question and was like,
He ain't trying to come
I
up.
don't mean that way. I mean where the woman dresses and looks like a man. Okay. So, we were talking earlier about energies, right?
Hmm?
And every person carries every person carries the propensity to exude both. Like Blue, he's able to tap into what most would be considered feminine energy, whether that is being vulnerable, being truthworthy, being empathetic, being intuitive. Those are considered feminine energy or feminine traits. And when you look at how people date, or when you think about the structure of dating in our community, a lot of times you see that those same heteronormative standards are placed in homosexual places. Now, I don't think I don't think it's healthy. I think it's very toxic for any person to go into something that's like standard cookie cutter, where if you're femme, then you have to date a butch person. Even if the argument is that, they balance each other's energies out, the feminine energy versus the masculine energy, or whatever. That has nothing to do with presentation, because she had a question about people who like women who dress and look like men, and I'm guessing the femme is supposed to be like the men who dress like, or women.
No. The question was for two lesbians, right? Why is it that you have some femmes that when they date butch, that's just like dating a man almost?
It's not like dating a man.
Wait a minute. I brought somebody on. I'm sorry. So she is actually a lesbian and she's proud to be one.
Yeah.
Okay.
For a long time of her life, she's
There you go, introduction, baby. Introduce yourself.
What's your name?
How y'all doing? My name's Andrina.
Hey, Andrina.
What's up, Frank? Hey, baby.
Look,
You know, when it comes down
I thought you were about to bring your drum set. I thought she should get a real introduction.
Oh, whoa. But you know I'm out here like this. You feel me?
She should have gave us she should have gave us some stuff, but it's okay.
So I just heard some things and I just had to jump in because
Thank you.
We appreciate it.
Speaking on behalf of my lesbian sisters, I have to say this: people are people.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, we are people who love people. It's not about titles. And I think that's where the drama starts within our community, is when we start labeling ourselves and saying, oh, you're gay, you're a guy, you're a lesbian. No, that's like saying, for instance, we say straights, you like a girl that's light skinned, you like a girl that's dark skinned, you like a girl that's like labeling. Like, I feel like you can't, once you start to label things, you're creating drama within your own community. It's not about that. It's about addressing it, acknowledging it, and doing something to move forward. Meaning to, how can I say this? Yeah, to progress in it, meaning to fix the issues that we're creating it ourselves. You know what I mean? I think that these topics the questions are amazing. But at the end of the day, this all comes down to just people being people and people loving people. And I think once we all come together, meaning straight, homo, whatever, we come together and stand together as one community, that is when we're able to be one, to stand as one voice. And so that happens, there's like, we're going to keep going in circles. We're going to be on this talking for
Andrina, that's clear to all of us. And and this is why we bring these topics to this platform, so that everybody's able to be comfortable about openly discussing whatever it is, right? But even for somebody like Blue or myself, I mean, for me, I'm like, I have no problem. I think I'm surrounded by gay people a lot, and I love them, all of them, right? But they're just people to me. But again, you have other people here that don't understand certain things Just as like some people just don't understand it, which I don't get, about being black or whatever the case may be, or man not understanding a woman. That's why we have the questions. Now, the question that Angie asked was, I think this is perfect for you to be able to answer. So since now I'm not the only female here,
It's
right?
all good.
So
That's why she wanted to get on. She wanted that.
No, thank you.
I felt your energy, sis.
Thank you, baby. Why do some femmes date butch and vice versa for gay men?
I'm trying to understand what kind of question that is.
And I don't know what
And
the
this,
hell
and
dating butch as a man is.
honestly, yeah, I'm trying.
Because she's saying, I don't mean that way.
Hold up. She right here. She about to ask.
And looks like a man. There she is right there. Go ahead, Ann.
Outstanding.
Hey.
Can you clarify your
Yes, I
question?
can clarify. So
Yes.
what I mean that I've always wondered is, for example, okay, I'm a straight female, but I always felt if I was a lesbian female, I would want my partner like femme. I wouldn't go for a partner that necessarily looked like a man, because for that I feel like I would want a man. So that's why I was trying to understand the roles within that, of where there are some that completely go through all of the changes to look like the opposite, but where the connection with that. And I think, Paris, you were actually saying a portion on energy that was making me kind of understand a bit. And to say that even though someone from the outside of how they look still has a certain kind of a connection, because they're still female to female. Is that correct?
Okay, so hold on.
In that,
So I'm gonna take it from let's take this and use the same situation, and I'm gonna put myself in a straight situation, right?
yes.
Would that be the same as saying that we as women, right? We're just playing right now. We as women, black women, are to date just black men, right? Is it the same? Like, is that the same?
No,
No. Why?
because it could be, you could date anybody.
Exactly. So
Right.
my point to this is, it does not matter whether if you have a dominant to femme, a femme to femme, a femme. I know gay men who date straight women, who date women.
But answer.
And-
But
I hear.
Okay.
Which is why do feminine women date dominant men?
Right,
I hear
right
the
there.
question. I hear the question, but I'm trying to understand what a person is a person. Love is love. If a
Absolutely.
person is loving someone, it does not matter who the person is. Like, if
I think, you know what I think it goes back to is what, even just for on the outside, what we're shown in movies and what was talked about earlier,
Right.
on an acceptance of when you see, like back in the day, there was a show, The L Word and stuff like that. And it's like, when you see in movies, they put two very feminine, sexy women together and say that's, you know what I mean? That's a girl and girl relationship. That's oh, okay, thanks. But I feel like there's a different persona to it when it changes. There was somebody had brought up something with what was it? It was Bruce from the dad that used to be now, I think it's Caitlyn, with the Kardashians.
Oh, Chris.
Chris. So when Chris changed, but then Chris will date a woman but won't date a man. There was some kind of a topic that came up. So that's what I was trying to understand within the differences in all the roles, and just that understanding.
So if you all give me the opportunity, please, Angela, I want to address you directly.
Yes.
Because I feel like I understand
She understands what she's saying.
And I don't want to. I'm sorry if I'm saying it wrong.
No, you're not saying it
No.
wrong.
It's question, right?
I understood what you were saying and the rationale behind it. And I kind of I understand what you're saying because I remember being in that space before, trying to understand, well, if you are a lesbian, you like women, why are you dating someone that looks like the man you dated, your ex? You know what I mean? And I think what the conversation is veering, what kind of started slowly veering into, if we wanted to jump from 1980 to 2020, kind of goes into trans attraction. But at the very basic core, it's about separating gender versus sexuality. Your sexuality and your gender, or how you present, are sexual exclusive. If you are a woman who is sexually attracted and your gender, then them how they present or how you isn't always going to play a role in your attraction, because you're attracted to women. You know what I mean? That's a woman. How she looks, you could be the prettiest thing in the world and be a shit.
Blue, can you
Hold on 1 second, Derek. Hold on. Hey,
Derek.
Ian. I know Ian just entered the room. Could you mute your camera for me? As soon as he came in and started to
See,
Because you're attracted to women. You know what I mean? That's a woman. I heard you yet. How she looks, you could be the prettiest thing in the world and be a shit.
Ian just entered the room. Could you
see.
Oh, Ian, your connection is delayed. You gotta fix your Wi-Fi, brother. I hear it. So you gotta.
I'm not quite.
Okay.
I think it just got bumped out.
So I think understanding that sexuality and gender are not mutually exclusive kind of speaks more to your question as far as why a femme would date a butch person as opposed to dating another femme. We do have femme and femme relationships, whether it's lesbian or gay. I've dated guys that are femme. I've dated guys that are masked or publicly masked or whatever. I think what happens is you realize that people are, for us, because of our experience and having to, navigate love in a totally different way. At the end of the day, we're trying to find our person. And, when you're in your teens and your 20s, maybe, you have your aesthetic in your mind, like, yeah, I want a man that looks like this and blah, blah, blah. After a while, you get exactly what you were looking for. And then you realize that's not what you need. That's not what you need, but it may not be what you need. So as you get older, I mean, we're more mature, that we're people looking for our person. We're looking for people that, but it may not be people that compliment us, people that minded. As you get older, I mean,
I think Ian's is still doing.
we're more mature, that we're people looking for our person. We're looking for people that compliment us, people that minded. The Bruce Jenner or Caitlyn Jenner situation.
doing it again?
A trans woman.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on, I'm sorry. Hey, Ian. He keeps coming in and out. Okay. Sorry about that.
So Caitlyn Jenner is now considered to be a lesbian because she is attracted to women.
Right.
And
categorically, right.
She has to, in order for her relationships to work, she would have to be with a woman who form, right?
Wait, what? You froze for a second. She has to be with a woman who is attracted to
women and or who is trans attracted. It can work both ways. So, as far as the genderization and how we present, that also you have to look into aesthetics. Also bring safety. There are certain men or gay men who may be femme or may be feminine, who may exude feminine energy, but the way that they present in the world, or the way that they dress, the way that they talk, the way that they walk, or the way that they, like I said, present themselves for their own safety, they present a totally different way. And that's I always call it costuming. That's the costuming that they choose, and then there are some who dress. There are some men out here that wear dresses who have no couth, no grace, no, you know what I mean? But that is
Right.
that is how they choose to express.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, but it's a question that's worth asking, because it's a question that a lot of people who are not part of the community really want to know. They want to understand the logic of, well, you could have just dated a man. Until someone says, well, actually, no, I wanted to date a woman because this woman relates to me. Like, she understands and she empathizes when I'm going through certain things. She knows when, you know, like when understands my intuitive cycle. You know what I mean? They relate, and that's what they're looking for.
But you know, also inside heterosexual relationships, you know how we're supposed to respect how everybody else outside of a heterosexual relationship is supposed to respect the love and not question my love. You don't get to question my love. This is my love. It's the same way that gay people need to be represented. Like, you don't need to question my love.
But this is
my
another
love.
reason as into why I mentioned, is it like the whole black and white thing? You know, like it's the same thing. Like, oh, I'm supposed to date a black man because I'm black. Well, there are sisters that date out of race. So is that an issue? Like, it's kind of the same thing, but just flip flop differently. We're just talking about same
like,
sex.
oh, why didn't you just?
That was my point of that. But I feel like at the end of the day, it still comes down to love is love, and you're searching for your soulmate. Doesn't matter if it's two doms. I know dominant women that date dominant women. What do we say to them? You know, so
They both can fight.
you
Yeah,
know,
they both can fight.
for real. You know, and love is love. If it worked, I know couples that have been together for 60 some years. You know, in our church, we've been together for 40 plus years together. Dominant, feminine. It's love.
I think they learn how to balance each other. That's what it boils down to, is you find your person that balances you. Regardless how they look, you find your person.
Maybe.
Well, thank you.
Thank you. That was very informative.
Yeah.
Did that answer your question, Ann?
It did. I've honestly I've wondered for a while, and that's the best. No one's ever actually explained it. So
Everybody, you like what you like. I was attracted to midgets for a while. Short people. Little people.
Not discriminating.
I've always been
little people. I'm sorry. I was, you know, it's fantasy. You know, little people.
Oh, wow, Blue.
Wait, Angie, are you over 5 feet?
To what?
Are you over 5 feet?
I'm 5'3".
Oh, okay. You just
wow.
I was like,
You just made it.
I just made it.
You just made it.
They're not gonna come.
I just made it. Damn.
Maybe too.
Nah, but
Hey, Ian, I see you in the chat. I know we were having a hard time with you on the camera. Is there any questions you want to put in the chat, or any statements you would like to put in the chat? We're definitely interested in what you had to say.
I did want to take this time to address something on a platform. I want you guys to know, as a black young man who has experienced depression and has experienced, as a black gay man who has experienced depression, the one thing that I've really longed for the longest in my life is stabilizing a relationship with other black kings who just want to be men. It is so hard to connect with somebody just because of my identity or what I identify as being, because I like a certain sex. But the crazy thing about it is I love playing football. I like playing football. I like working out. I do work out. I'm naturally athletic. I love doing hikes. I love doing manly shit. I can go to a strip club and all the girls will be on me until they get upset and be like, I'm gay. And they be like, well, you ain't got to tell me all of that because you're not gay. It's whatever. You know, but I really am. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, and Tata, no, you feel me? So but I want to put that out there that like that, you know, when unity happens inside our community, it looks a little bit different. And I wouldn't be so depressed if I just found a friend to be relatable, a black male friend, so that we both could mesh. You get what I'm saying? And I feel like
you want me to be a man?
I think.
Wait a minute.
You want me to be a man?
You can't be a man. You ain't no damn man. Shut up.
But you know what's crazy is I'm gonna tell y'all something. You know what's crazy is
I can be whatever I want, Derek.
it all comes from like you said, it comes from conversation. The funniest thing about this whole show, right? You know, me and Tatanisha never met before.
Never who?
You know, we never met before.
We never met in person.
In person. We never met in person.
We actually, this platform, we started it day one. We were introduced over the phone by a mutual friend.
Okay, because I was confused. I was like, wait, y'all just...
No, we were introduced by somebody that we're both really cool with, and he brought me to the platform. Was like, no, I want to show you something because this is what you do, and he introduced me in Blue. Now, Blue's been interested. I mean, he's been introduced to other people, but no one clicked the way that we do. So like even
My fault. I had to do it one time. I had to do one sound effect for the night.
I feel like the universe is speaking to all of us. The universe is speaking to all of us.
Yes, nobody knew that. No one knew that Blue and I, with the connection that we had, for us to be as close as friends that we are, that we've never ever physically met in person.
Never.
That's how I know the universe is speaking.
It is. We 14. Well, this would be 15 episodes
in. 15 episodes in. 15 episodes in. And we met during quarantine. During the quarantine, we met.
Do y'all see Prince Derek Doll fit? Yo,
you was like,
what the hell is that, Derek?
What's what?
Yo, oh my God.
Huh? Oh, I'm just listening.
Okay.
You was like, what you mean? Y'all never met?
I'm just listening.
Yeah, but nah, we built a friendship, a true friendship over.
Absolutely.
Social. Well, I wouldn't even say over a show, and just being able to come here every week and do different topics, and even having you guys on is a blessing because if it wasn't for this, I probably, who knows if I would even ran into you all or got to even have a conversation like this. So I think I think it should be more stuff like this.
Yes, Angie. Yes.
What is she saying?
That's the best face expression.
We about to make some memes over here.
I told you, I've always been this way. That's how they knew I was a queer kid, because that was me everywhere. Just what? I don't know what's going on.
Everybody loves the doll. Everybody loves the doll.
Right, because I mean, I don't know. At this point, like, anybody that hates me, like, they just...
Right.
They don't like life. Like, that's how I determine, like, if you don't like me, you don't like life. And that's...
Oh, shit. Would you stop it with the sound effects?
Where are these sound effects at?
Him. He's in the control room, so he's able to do all this craziness.
Look, I didn't know what was going on because I brought my stage. I had started doing my stage because I thought it was me. I was like,
"Come on, stage now." I got you, friends.
Maybe that's what I was thinking. I thought I was hearing something like, "Now I know I'm
not." You see, Derek? I mean, Blue, you messing with his head right now.
Right? I'm good. I'm protecting. I'm good. I'm like, well.
Oh man. But nah.
Is there any other questions?
We're gonna get ready to close this out. We're 2 hours in, so I want for Derek, I want you to close us out with what you got going on, where everybody can find you, put it in the comments, and all that good stuff.
Okay. What do I have going on? Well, I'm currently working on my follow-up EP, and from what I understand, it's going to be a visual project as well.
Okay.
So I'm excited about that. I am the co-host of Queer Millennials The Key. That is an LGBTQ talk show where we speak specifically to our issues from the point of view of LGBTQ people of color. And you can find us on Twitter at QueerM. You can find us on Instagram at QueerMillennial. Our episode 6 from season 2 should be out next week. I'm also the co-host of the Darren Green Show. It's available on all streaming podcasts. You can follow us at TDGS Media on Instagram. And then as far as I'm concerned, you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, Christian Mingle at
Shut up.
And so yeah, and I'm always available. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Oh, thank you for joining us. Thank you.
You asked me, I got you. So
I appreciate you so much.
But yeah, this is a great conversation. I agree with Faith that these kind of conversations need to continue because once we open the door for conversation, there is a space for understanding. And as we create understanding, we open the door for empathy. Once we have empathy, then we can create impact.
Right.
Oh, and before I leave, I got to say this while I'm on here, because here it is. So on the 25th of August, hold up, my thing ain't popping up. 25th of August at Military Park at 5 o'clock. For those who are in Newark, we are going to be holding a vigil for Ashley Moore, the trans woman that was murdered.
Right.
Left in front of the YWMCA.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be doing a vigil for her on the 25th. So if you could, please come out, wear your mask. We're going to be practicing social distancing. So have masks available. But it's a moment for us to be able to show up for one of our.
What time is it?
At 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock.
Military Park at 5 o'clock, and we're going to start there. And we're going to walk over to the YWMCA.
Yep. In
her honor. So yeah, just and for those of you who are allies, like your allyship is important, and that means that it's okay, like to ask questions. Like with Blue, like it's okay to ask questions about things you don't know. How else would you know if you don't ask them?
Yeah.
And for those of you who are part of the LGBT community, we have to be more receptive of these questions and be willing to not be like, don't question me. I want you to ask these questions because I want you to walk away from me with a better understanding. And that could possibly save the life of another LGBTQ person.
Thanks.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, thank you again, Derek. Thank you so much. Make sure that you put your
Instagram
handles right there in the chat.
Yeah.
Or my OnlyFans link is.
You know what? Good night. Go ahead, Faith.
So I'm currently working on 2 visual albums. They will be of me dancing, not me singing. I have some singing projects I'm working on. You can follow me at Faith Carter, that's with a Y, on Facebook and Instagram to find out the more updates. I also have some clothing coming you guys' way. So just be patient with me. Just be patient with me on that. So everything is a process, and just like us getting unified, is a process. And we're working on it. I'm working on it. So my IG is Humble Faith Carter. My Facebook is Faith Carter. Follow me on there. You'll see all of my updates and ventures, and I want you guys to leave off with this knowing that gay people are people too. I want you to understand that all lives matter. Black lives matter at the present moment. Gay lives matter at the present moment. And your alliedness matters. The fact that you say, yes, I'll stand by gay people to support them. I'll stand by gay people because he or she is my brother or my sister. I stand by gay people because I'm a humanist. I believe in human. I believe in humane environment. I believe in humanity. I believe in life. I believe in love. Me and you. Me and you must never pop my peas, all that good stuff.
I knew you. It was just too good that you was just going.
Mm-hmm.
And where is Andrina?
Got it. Dre.
Oh, me.
Miss.
Oh, God, funny.
Y'all know y'all got a celebrity in the room, so y'all.
No, not
Let's
really.
go, Andrina.
But you guys can find me at Dynamic Essential. That's
Hold up.
DYNAMICESSENTI.
You gotta type that in. That's a little
Oh,
long.
Faith,
Type
you need
that.
to
Dynamic
type yours in the chat
Essential.
too.
Type that in the chat.
Nah, Dynamic Essential. I am a full-time educator. I teach at Kip Bold. I started my own percussion program, which I'm looking to bring into the community really soon. Now, where you can find me again, Dynamic Essential, DYNAMICESSENTIAL. That is my social media. I'm also a talent manager, representative, A&R rep for my own company. So I go out into the community, I scope artists, and I invest. Other than that, I think that's it. I'm a drummer. Yeah.
That's Jay
That's it.
Wonder's mom.
Where who?
That's Jay Wonder's mom.
Oh, word? Dope K.
Oh, thank you. Huh?
That's
Derek, you didn't know that was my son?
I didn't know that was your.
No.
I did not know that was your
Okay.
offspring.
Yeah, super dope.
Thank you.
Super dope.
Now I know why he can rap. Good job.
Word. Dude is dope.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. Thank you. But Faith and Andrina, please make sure you put it in the chat before we close out. Just like Angie said, thank you both. Thank all three of you.
Everybody
For
put their
sharing
stuff in the
some
chat so that way we could all
Thank
keep
you
up.
so much, guys. And I love you
I just
guys,
want
and
to.
you know that.
I appreciate you guys for having this conversation. So whoever started this thing, y'all too, y'all keep this thing going. We have to keep this thing going. Get the information out here to our communities, both communities. But at the end of the day, we're one community. So let's come together and get these words out, educate our neighbors, and that's it, y'all.
What is all this tapping? What kind of typewriter y'all got over there?
Yeah, y'all got a whole typewriter.
It's
Sorry.
He was about to bring out his stage again.
Right.
No, but guys, please, every Tuesday we are on this platform at 7 p.m. The link is always on my Facebook page. The week prior, and the link is in my bio on Instagram as well as Blue. That is underscore Blue BLU underscore E.
Put it in
BLU
the
underscore E. He's gonna put it in the chat. You can follow him on Instagram as well. Yeah, Blue does a lot of great things, but you can follow him. But anyway, you guys make sure. Thank you, Beverly. You guys make sure you follow
my
the
mom
show.
up in here.
We're always we do a different topic every week.
Hey, Mama Blue.
Right? We do a different topic every week. It's always a conversation such as this. And
you can find all the shows on YouTube too.
All our shows are on YouTube. The recaps. Some of them are a little rough, so don't come back and judge me like, what the?
Yeah, that reunion show was yeah.
But the truth of the matter is, you guys have always been about authenticity. So when you guys bring your platform is all about authenticity, which is raw, it's uncut, it's realistic, it's loud, it's in your face, but it's necessary, it's needed, it's value, it's profit, it's love, it's dope, it's y'all.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
But definitely, and the platform is also available to other people that need to use it as well. So that's a discussion we can have if in fact you're interested. The platform holds 4,000 people, of course, not on the screen, but you know what I'm saying. We are better than Zoom.
Yeah.
And we're Black owned.
Yes.
So make sure that you spread the word. Next week, bring 2 people, and 2 people bring 2 people, and this is what we're doing. And I thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, thank y'all so much. It was a true pleasure. And on that note, guess we're gonna end it out. Yeah, if you all got any questions, or I actually follow all of you, so if y'all got any questions or if y'all have anything coming up, please let us know.
Please.
And I'll definitely be there to support, or support what you guys are doing. So definitely Please hope to have you all
Derek,
back on the show.
Derek
And
always he shares my posts and we share each other's stuff.
That's called
Thank you.
support.
That's
Called
called support.
Okay, you don't know out there.
Right.
Oh my God,
Love you
Prince
guys.
don't support.
No, ain't nobody. Shut up, Faith.
What? How do you?
Not the mini fingernail file. Not. I cannot.
oh, yo, I like that. I like that. You could end it and always have fun.
Right. We ended with a laugh.
Got to.
But thank you guys again, guys in the chat. Thank you too, as well as usual. We love you. Good
Love
night.
y'all. Have a good night.